Welcome to StarWatch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
Do you remember that tiny girl with pigtails who once stood on stage, shy yet bright-eyed, and somehow made Wang Yibo soften into a smile no one expected? Back then, she was all innocence and spark, a small presence in a big world. Today, that same girl has grown into a poised young actress whose legs seem to stretch endlessly, whose confidence fills the screen, and whose journey feels almost unreal. Time moves quickly in the entertainment industry, but every so often, we witness a transformation so graceful that it stops us in our tracks. This is not just a story about growing taller or stepping into new roles. It is about growth, resilience, and the quiet power of becoming. From the little girl who once charmed a star to a young woman carving out her own space, her evolution is something you will not want to miss. And stay with us on StarWatch Now as we take a closer look at how she turned early attention into lasting promise. When Pei Jiaxin first appeared before the public eye, she was barely tall enough to command the stage, yet she carried a natural charm that cameras seemed to adore. Audiences remember her as the sweet child whose innocence brought out a softer side of Wang Yibo during a light-hearted television moment. That memory has lingered not because it was dramatic, but because it felt genuine. In an industry often defined by polish and perfection, authenticity always stands out. Born in 2009 in Chuzhou, Anhui, Pei Jiaxin entered acting at an age when most children are still discovering their favorite playground games. At 6, she stepped into the world of television, taking on supporting roles that required patience, discipline, or an emotional sensitivity beyond her years. She portrayed younger versions of leading heroines in historical dramas, memorizing lines in elaborate costumes, and delivering scenes that required real tears, not just rehearsed gestures. Her eyes, dark and expressive, became her signature. Directors quickly noticed that she did not simply recite dialogue, she listened, reacted, and felt. Yet the true test for any child actor is not early applause. It is the transition. Many young stars struggle when adolescence reshapes their features and public expectations grow heavier. For Pei Jiaxin, that transition unfolded with surprising harmony. The little girl with delicate features gradually developed into a young woman with striking proportions and elegant posture. Viewers who recently saw her at the airport were stunned not by extravagance, but by her effortless presence. Dressed casually, without elaborate styling, she appeared taller, more composed, her long legs drawing attention in the most understated way. It was not a transformation built on spectacle, but on time and quiet confidence. What makes her growth especially compelling is that it extends beyond appearance. In The Wind Chaser, she portrayed Fang Ling, a girl born into hardship yet filled with hope. Acting alongside Wang Yibo once again, this time in a more layered narrative, she demonstrated remarkable emotional maturity. Fang Ling's longing for education, her resilience despite poverty, and her tragic fate added depth to the story. Her scenes were brief, yet they resonated. Audiences spoke not only of her beauty, but of the sincerity in her performance. She did not try to outshine seasoned actors, because she anchored her character in truth. That subtlety is rare. Off-screen, her image has remained refreshingly steady. Stories of her studying between takes, quietly completing homework while waiting for her scenes, have only strengthened public admiration. An IELTS score of 7 surfaced online, surprising many who already viewed her as disciplined. In an environment where headlines often focus on controversy, Her narrative has been one of balance. She has not relied on manufactured rumors or romantic speculation to remain relevant. Instead, she has allowed her work to speak. In 2025, her schedule accelerated with consecutive drama releases, each revealing a different shade of her ability. In one role, she conveyed youthful curiosity. In another, she embodied quiet determination. In yet another, she revealed a hint of stubborn strength that hinted at the powerful roles she may take on in years to come. Rather than repeating the same archetype, she experimented carefully, building range without losing her recognizable essence. Industry observers have begun to note that she is no longer merely the child version of someone else's character. She is becoming the lead. There is also something deeply relatable about watching her grow. For long-time viewers, it feels similar to seeing a neighbor's daughter mature from primary school to sixth form, each year adding confidence and self-awareness. There is pride in witnessing potential unfold gradually. When fans recall the shy child who once stood near Wang Yibo and compare her to the poised young actress of today, the contrast feels almost cinematic. Her composure in public settings further reinforces this impression. When surrounded by supporters at the airport, she has been seen pausing to accept small gifts with gratitude, mindful of the people around her. Such gestures may appear simple, yet they reflect grounding. Stardom at 16 can be overwhelming, but she carries it lightly. Speculation about her future has already begun. Some compare her calm elegance to established icons, while others insist she will chart a completely individual path. Perhaps both views contain a hint of truth. What is certain is that she represents a new generation of performers who blend classical training with modern awareness. She understands the lens, but she also understands restraint. From a broader perspective, her journey symbolizes more than personal success. It speaks to the importance of guidance, family support, and patience in an industry that often demands instant results. She did not rush to redefine herself overnight. She allowed each stage of growth to unfold naturally. That patience has become her quiet strength. Looking ahead 5 or 10 years, one can easily imagine her standing confidently on an awards stage, reflecting on the path from child roles to complex leading performances. If that day arrives, those who watched her from the beginning will feel a particular satisfaction. They will remember the pigtails, the shy smile, the moment she first caught Wang Yibo's attention, and they will recognize that what seemed like a fleeting childhood appearance was actually the first chapter of a much longer story. Her legs may appear longer now, her silhouette more refined, but the essence that captivated audiences years ago remains unchanged. It is the blend of humility, dedication, and quiet ambition that continues to draw people in. Growth in the public eye is rarely simple, yet she has navigated it with grace. Thank you for spending time with us on StarWatch Now. Stories like this remind us why we follow the journeys of young talents in the first place. It is not only about fame or headlines, but about witnessing potential transform into promise. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Pei Jiaxin's remarkable evolution, consider subscribing to StarWatch Now for more thoughtful stories about the stars shaping today's entertainment world. Your support allows us to continue exploring these journeys with care and detail. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know which rising talent you would like us to cover next, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories. Until next time, thank you for watching and for being part of our growing community.